T-Bone and Heather in the morning on Star 98.3 and 97.7 The Bay.
Hello, my friends. Well, it's Friday morning. You know what that means.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah. Good morning.
Hey, we missed you last week.
Yes. Don't buy a BMW. Let me just say that.
no.
You don't have any BMW sponsors, do you?
Oh, no, we do not.
Oh, good.
Oh,
A lot of movies. They're very
100,000
fine cars,
miles and
but,
stuff just starts shooting everywhere.
It's time for you to buy another one. That's all.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's right.
Hey, listen, what is happening? Okay, can I just say this? I have noticed that there's not a lot of cool stuff coming out. I mean, like Venom, I thought maybe that would be kind of a big thing, but it wasn't. Are there any blockbusters that we have to look forward to coming up?
Well, I mean, and here's the thing is, there are movies coming out. Like, there's two this week that really should be a lot more popular than they are. But ever since streaming got huge and we moved into this thing where blockbuster movies, during the pandemic when blockbuster movies started going to streaming instead of there.
Right.
And I think we've talked about this before. The thing with streaming is there's no sense of urgency to it. So you never get that opening weekend pop, and you never get that cultural impact that you get. Yeah, like you can put, like, think about the Extraction movies is what I always think of.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, biggest star in the world, in an amazing action movie. That would have been a summer blockbuster that everybody was talking about for months.
Came out on Netflix.
Did anybody even remember it was out and that there was a sequel? So it's I think it's less the movies that are coming out and more how we're consuming the movies that are coming out at this point.
I really hope, because I think it's going to really be bad if it goes this route, but I really hope that the theaters don't go the way of brick and mortar stores, because I get that vibe that what Amazon is doing to them, streaming is doing to theaters, and it's a shame because there is nothing like going to the movies.
Nothing like it.
Yeah, it's
so
an
fun.
American cultural tradition.
Yeah.
And, it really, you're not wrong. And theaters are in the adapt or die space right now. There's no question about that. You can't, if you're going to keep operating the way you have for the last 30 years, you're not going to be here next year.
How do you adapt as a theater?
Well, I mean, there's plenty, there's one thing you'll notice a lot is re-releases are coming out. Like, during Halloween, Nightmare Before Christmas came out.
Yeah.
Number one, the theaters can get those for cheaper. And if it's the right movie, you can still fill the same seats. And let's be honest, theaters really don't care about the tickets they sell. They care about the concessions.
Yeah, you're the popcorn and the candy.
Like RC Theater on December 7th, they have, for just $1, you can go see Dr. Seuss's The Grinch and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on the big screen for $1.
Right.
I mean, how are you going to beat
You
that?
can't beat it, and it's fun. I mean, you get the whole experience. You
Well,
get
I want
the
to go
popcorn.
do that. When does that start?
December 7th.
Okay, I'm doing
And
that.
that's exactly what I mean. I mean, you see a lot of, and the other thing is expanding where they make their money. I mean, I don't know when the last time you've been in a theater, but it's no longer popcorn and soda and maybe some jujubes.
No,
now,
it's like nachos and hot dogs and chicken
you can get
tenders.
a full dinner at most of these places, and a lot of them are bringing in alcohol,
drinks,
and beer and wine, and things like that. So
I'd like to see Venom in a prime rib, please.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Go see one of the Saw movies and have some barbecue.
Right, exactly. Okay, so what do we have coming out this week?
Well, this week we have the best Christmas pageant ever.
Oh.
So we're starting the Christmas movies.
Here we go.
And this one's pretty sweet. It's about it's about a town that puts on this pageant, obviously, but there's a family that's very kept out of things, and they want to kick out of the town, and it's all about the family coming together and proving themselves and all this stuff. It's a very standard but very sweet and schmaltzy.
Anybody in it that we know?
Pete Townsend, I think. No, that's not his name. He's a pretty famous comedian right now.
Oh, okay.
Pete something or other.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's not. They're not breaking the marquee with.
Okay,
they're
not
names on this one. Yeah, and then there's Heretic, which is very different. This one has one of the cooler premises for the weekend. So you've probably seen a trailer where
Pete Davidson.
No, not Pete Davidson. It's not the SNL guy. It's Pete something. Pete Holmes. Pete Holmes. That's what it is, yeah.
Oh, I know that guy. He's good.
Yeah. I like him a lot. I just didn't remember his name.
Right.
And Heretic, the trailer has two little girls coming up to the door, and Hugh Grant answers, and they're like, have you accepted Jesus as your savior? And he just looks and smiles really creepily. He says, come on in, let's talk.
Oh, gosh.
This is all about like a cat and mouse game where these two young women go into his house to talk to him about the Lord. And then he kind of turns the tables and he has some other ideas.
Hugh Jackman, Wolverine?
Hugh Grant.
Oh,
Hugh Grant.
Never going to Hugh Grant's house.
Yeah, never. He can be very creepy.
Hugh Grant.
And this one was just so suspense is the name of the game here.
Did you like it?
I did. I liked it a lot. Yeah, it was a little much for my anxiety, but
Is it gory?
No, it's not necessarily gory. It's just
suspenseful.
Very, very suspenseful. And Hugh Grant just chews up all of the scenery in the whole thing. So
he's great.
If you like Hugh Grant, especially in some non-romantic comedy movies roles, this is the one.
He's great. He's great. He really is.
I've always liked him. I mean, his taste in dates during the 90s notwithstanding, I really liked the guy.
Sure. Yeah. What else do we have coming up?
Liz Hurley. You're going to cheat on Liz Hurley.
Come on. Maybe she's crazy, though.
That could be true.
Right.
The other big one is Elevation, which is Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America stars in. And this is, we're seeing kind of a trend of monster movies where the monsters have one specific weakness or strength. Like, think of A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Where as long as you're quiet, they can't get you.
Yeah.
Right. They almost seem like they're formed to create children's tag games or something like that, like tag and things like that.
Right.
But this one is they can't go above a certain elevation.
Oh, jeez.
When I just said that out loud.
Okay.
When I just said that out loud, I realized how stupid it sounded. But no, it's actually
in this movie you can never turn left.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, right.
But it's all about it. They have to stay above this elevation. Anthony Mackie's son has asthma. They have to go down into the hospital to get something and come back. It's a standard story. But that's the beauty of somebody like Anthony Mackie. He's just so fun to watch. You put him in one of these ridiculous situations, and it makes it a worthwhile time.
Okay.
So, it doesn't nothing new. It doesn't break anything new. It doesn't do anything crazy, but it was pretty fun to watch for sure.
When is like the start? You've told me this 100 times. I don't know why I can't remember. What is the start? It's like, okay, now it's Oscar season and all that kind of
usually
stuff.
November.
So we're close to it.
We're in it, yeah. So Juror number 2 that came out last weekend, the Clint Eastwood movie, that'll probably be talked about. There are a few others that have hit down so far, but usually as soon as Halloween ends, it gets serious.
So you're going to buy a ticket this weekend. What movie are you going to?
Honestly, Heretic.
Probably Heretic.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about?
It's not quite. It's too early for Christmas movies for me personally. So
what about streaming? Anything coming out on streaming?
Nothing major on streaming, but you had asked earlier if we had any big movies coming out still, and we do. There's a couple big things coming over the next couple weeks. Red One is one I'm really looking forward to.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, and they have to go and save Santa Claus.
Did you see Did you see the latest trailer for Dear Santa?
No.
With
Is that Jack Black?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Dear Satan thing. Yeah.
Right.
He mislabels it. Yeah.
Right, exactly. That looks like it's a little fun.
And then there's Wicked, there's Moana 2, there's a lot of children movies coming out, and so it's going to be a big holiday season for family films.
I don't know if you have heard, John, but I know you are a huge Star Wars fan. Did you hear about Simon Kinberg?
No.
Simon Kinberg, the writer and producer behind several X-Men movies, which I know you're also into, he's going to develop, are you ready? A new Star Wars trilogy of films. Now, whether the upcoming films will be an extension of the Skywalker saga or stand on their own remains unclear, but there's going to be a new Star Wars biopic.
What I saw of these trailers, it's the time before, it's the time
Rogue
between...
One?
Well, after Rogue One...
I think that's the best Star Wars movie ever.
And before, the Death Star is completely built, because okay, I know.
Okay,
here comes a nerd.
It's okay.
C-3PO's there, Chewbacca's there, R2-D2's there.
Okay, so
they're all
after
together.
Rogue One, but before New Hope.
Yeah,
right.
I think so.
Okay.
Star Wars is at a weird place right now where, things are flopping and they don't know what to do. They're trying to figure out their new thing. And ever since the last trilogy ended, there have been news stories about different big name people coming out with different trilogies. Everybody from Kathleen Kennedy to Simon Kinberg now. So I'm on a wait and see pattern with those type of things.
Hey, listen, I like Solo. Everybody bash Solo. I liked Solo.
I haven't seen a bad Star Wars product. I mean,
I don't
honestly,
think I have either. But you get these people who are Star Wars elitists, and they're just like, "Oh, that was
'cause
horrible." And
they don't judge the movie as a movie; they judge it on what they wanted to see, and
exactly.
that's different. So,
yes.
And also the one movie I forgot to mention that we still have coming out, and I wanted to get your interest level. Gladiator 2.
I'm very interested.
Looks amazing, doesn't it?
interested, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Interested.
very interested. Yeah, I love Gladiator. Same director.
And I like Denzel. I mean, how can you not love Denzel?
No,
so I love him in everything.
100%.
Right.
All right, listen, phone lines are open for you. Thank you, John. Go out and see a movie this weekend. It's
Thank
very,
you.
very important. Go have some fun.